welcome back to my channel. If you haven't watched before, my name is Jamie, and today we are going to be testing this L'Oreal Visible Lift Blur Foundation. So we are going to get into a review of how it goes on. We are going to test it in 2 different ways. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below before you leave. Hit a thumbs up if you like the video to come. And if you want to see how this foundation applies, let's go ahead and get right onto the video. Okay, so we already have our eyes done, and now we are going to move on. This is going to be testing the new, I don't know why I'm saying new, I don't know how long it's been out for, the L'Oreal Paris, the Visible Lift Blur Foundation. So we're going to hope this blurs out all my pores here. Now we have already moisturized our face, but now we are going to prime it. We're going to be using our handy dandy Smashbox primer water. And then go in with one of my favorite primers, the Milani Prime Shield. Now this is mattifying and pore minimizing, so should go good with this blurring foundation, right? Make sure to really get it in those pores. Alright, so we're gonna do one side of our face with a beauty sponge, and we're going to take a kabuki brush from Sigma and just do the other side, see which one we like better. I'm going to start out with the brush. Just take some of this, and I have the shade, what shade do I have? 203 Nude Beige, so let's hope this color works out for me. Just get some on our hand here, and you can see it's pretty thick. There's the application with the brush. Let's zoom you in. And I don't know if you can see, but there is definitely some texture showing through, so not sure if that is because of the brush application or if this is really just not a blurring foundation as it states. So we're going to go back in on the other side with our beauty sponge. This is just a L'Oreal sponge. Grab a little bit more product. Now time for side number 2. We definitely got more coverage with the brush side. I don't know if you can see the redness peeking through here. So we're gonna go back in with another layer and see if we can build this up. Okay, so I definitely feel like my texture is more emphasized on the brush side, but it did give me more coverage on the brush side versus the sponge side. Evened out my texture some, but it didn't give me as much coverage. I guess it was soaking up a lot of the product, so let's zoom in. See if you can see how the texture is not as emphasized, whereas it is more emphasized on this side. But then the coverage, there's still a little bit of pink showing through. You can see this spot here still. And then the coverage on this side is much better. My spots are all covered up. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and set my face and apply some bronzer, and I will be right back. Okay, so we are back and we have most of our face on, but I just got this and I would love to try this. It looks like it's going to be it's called a Face and Eye Strobe palette by Milani. It's in the shade number 2, the Candlelight Spotlight. It says apply shades individually to desired areas or swirl together for a flawless strobe effect. A multitasking palette with universal flattering shades to illuminate face and eyes. The light reflecting powders build and blend effortlessly for an instant glow. So we're going to hope this is on the money. To only get it open. So don't these shades just look beautiful? Like, they are gorgeous. But we're going to see. I didn't think that that darker shade would be good as a bronzer because it is has a lot of shimmers in it. But we're going to try to use this pink, hopefully it's a very small area, as a blush. And then, of course, the highlight. I think we're going to mix all of them together for that. So we're going to go in, and we might have to use a smaller brush than my normal. Normally I would use my Sigma angled brush, but I think we're going to have to use more of this kind of brush, simply because that is a very small area to get blush from. Well, that is pretty. I don't know if you can see it yet. Might be more of a highlight right now. But I think that is gorgeous. I don't know if you can tell the difference, but it's a very pretty blush. I'm all about some pink blushes. Like, give me some pinks. I'll take that any day over a like peachy salmony color. Okay, so now we're going to take my Real Techniques setting / what I use for highlight brush, and I think I'm just gonna, swirl them all together. That is pretty. That is really pretty. That gives such a good highlight. I love it. This might beat out my Becca one that I was so sad when I broke. I think this beats out the Becca one. For now. We have a new favorite for now. Switches all the time. I'm just going for that blinding effect right now. Like, oh yeah. Alright, so now we have a new lip product. It is the Revlon Colorstay Ultimate Liquid Lipstick, and it is in the shade 35 Iconic Iris. Just looks like that. I think it's not a matte. I think it has more of a sheen to it, so. Definitely not as pigmented as I was expecting it to be. But it feels really nice on the lips. So not as pigmented. I guess it does kind of match the two. but I was expecting something a little bit more pigmented, even though this does feel really nice. It's starting to dry down, so we'll see. I don't know, I think this is a pretty color. Definitely not a well bam in your face kind of lipstick. Alright guys, so this is the final look. We have tested out this L'Oreal Visible Lift Blur Foundation, again in the shade 203 Nude Beige. Now this foundation does say that it instantly blurs lines, spots, and uneven texture for younger looking skin in just seconds. Skin feels touchably soft and smooth. And although it did not blur, I think it looks really good on the skin, and it's not like super full coverage, but you can still see like little spots on my face like here. And then there is some texture in this area. Let's see. There's some texture that you can probably see now. And then this spot again. But otherwise, I think it looks like a very good foundation. And I'm gonna wear this throughout the day, and hopefully I will remember to update y'all at the end of the day. It's not gonna get a super long wear because right now it is 1:50. But I do have to work tonight, and I work in a restaurant, so that's gonna put it to the test a lot, I would assume. So hopefully I will give y'all an update of how it looks later tonight. And let's see, we also tested this Milani, the Candlelight Spotlight palette. It's the Face and Eye Strobe palette. Again, this palette is really pretty, and although I would never use that shade as an actual bronzer because it is just extremely shimmery, this shade for blush, even though it is shimmery, turned out really pretty, and then mixing all of them together gave a very gorgeous highlight. We also tested this Revlon Colorstay Ultimate Liquid Lipstick in the shade Iconic Iris, and although it is not as pigmented as I was thinking it would be, I feel like it has gotten a little bit darker as it's dried. Anyway, so this is the final product from what we have used with testing out 3 new products, especially this L'Oreal Visible Lift Blur Foundation. And again, I will wear it throughout the day, let y'all know my thoughts on it as it wears. Alright, so I just got home. It has been right around 8 hours. It is just after 9 o'clock right now, and I would say that this makeup has held up pretty well. It has lost some coverage down here, but otherwise I did have to take off my eye makeup because it was a little bit too glam for working in a restaurant, so my under eye got taken off a little bit too. But otherwise, it held up pretty well. I wouldn't say it is a super long lasting foundation because it did lose a bunch of coverage, but I like this foundation, and I think that it did a pretty good job, seeing as it lasted through working in a restaurant. Again, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below, hit the like button if you like this video so I know what to post more of in the future. That's all for today. Bye! I forgot to set my face. And so we already have our eyes and our brows done. No, we don't. No, we don't. Has light reflecting powders build these stupid packages. Alright, now we have a new lip product. Why is there a sticker blocking the label?